bitch. I read the comments. I read what you guys have to say about my channel. Hey, Pigcake, great video, but your audio sucks. Hey, Pigcake, what's up with the audio? Why is it that this sounds like this underwater? Hey, Pigcake, why does your mom not want you in the family? I hear you, which is why I got one of these. Actually, I had one of these, I just didn't have the battery. So you should be hearing the full clarity of my voice, those of you guys that complain and say I don't listen to you guys in the Pigcake community. I listen and I adapt, I improvise, all right? I improvise. And also, some of you guys have been mentioning, hey, Pigcake, your beard's in the shot. Nice beard, bro. Hey, man, I got you there. Bet you didn't want to show your beard on the channel, but I saw it with my acute eye sense. I edit my videos, all right? You disgusting Taco Bell grease stain. I edit my videos. I know what's going into every single frame of the shot. I know what's going on above, what's going below. I know everything. Everything is taken into account for. So you don't think that I'm aware that my chin comes into shot sometimes?
Are you that naive to think
that a genius of my caliber is unaware of the framing of my shot? Don't be putting comments like you know some insider information when you don't know anything, all right? You don't know anything. Hey guys, you should subscribe to the channel. You should do that. Today I'm going to show you a little bit of a hot card trick. So today I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a hot card trick, a little bit of a hot variant on something I've shown you guys before. However, this one is a little bit of a cleaner method. So for this, we're going to be using this deck of cards. This is the Cherry Casino playing cards. These cards are the cards you take out when you want to, show the ladies that you mean business. Sometimes you take out these bicycle decks at whatever establishment you go on, and the ladies say, hey, did you bring a deck of cards just in case somebody were to ask you to show a magic trick that you'd be prepared? That's fucking retarded. So you take a deck like this and that kind of softens the blow. So for this, we actually aren't gonna use the entire deck. We're gonna use a small collection of playing cards. I don't know if you're aware of this, but my hobby is magic. Obviously, that's not only my hobby, but my profession. And my second hobby is collecting jokers. I collect jokers, but not any sort of jokers. I collect jokers from this Cherry Casino deck. The reason for it is because they have some good looking jokers. So this one, you could see the stains from my excitement. This one I found in a jewelry store right here. It has some of the gold flecks that were part of the chains in the store that rappers tend to wear on their necks. This one, I don't really have a memory with it, but this one definitely, I remember. This is one of the, one of the ones that I found in your mom's house. But see, here's the problem. You show your collection of jokers and people aren't satisfied. They say, hey, that's a stupid collection. Why would you ever collect jokers? Why don't you collect something like the aces? Why don't you collect the aces, Mr. Magic? And you know what? Just because you asked for it, I'd acquiesce to your request here and show the fact that those jokers are no more, and the only thing that I have here are the aces and my dignity, which I have preserved in a small sock that I keep under my bed. So if you're still here and don't want to die from that performance, here's a little bit of a card trick that you could use to introduce the aces into whatever set you're going into. Maybe you're doing a 4-ace trick, maybe you're not doing a 4-ace trick, and it just so happens that the person you're showing this for has a fetish for the 4 aces. You could show them this trick and they'll be aptly satisfied. So for this, you need obviously 4 aces. You need the 4 aces and you need 1 joker. Now this is a handling that I've recently discovered because it simplifies a lot of what was before with this particular trick. If you notice, when you do a flustration count, which is the secret of this particular trick, you notice that when you do it, you're always left with a double here. This is a double. So even though I'm so adept at making it look like one single card, it's actually 2 cards. It's actually 2 cards. So that's a little bit of a problem. I wanted to do a flustration count where I ended with 1 single card and didn't have to worry about other cards. That's still a double. I'm just really good at hiding it. So for this, I found the simple solution for it was you're gonna do a little bit of a modified flustration count. Now those of you guys that are unaware of magic moves and somehow stumbled upon my channel, well, luckily for you guys, there's the Pigcake Magic Academy. You guys could check that out. $5 a month. You get 2 new videos a week going over card and coin stuff. Over 150 videos already that you get access to the instant you sign on. Why aren't you on board yet? Why haven't you retroactively figured out that that exists and you're on board? Anyways, check it out. Link is in the description below. Anyways, this is a little bit of a variation on Brother John Hammond's Flustration Count. For those of you guys unaware with this particular move, it's very simple. You have a stack of whatever cards you want. Let's say I have a little pile of aces and one joker on the bottom. The joker gets placed on the bottom of the stack. All you're gonna do to show these supposed 4 cards as jokers is as follows. You're gonna pick up this pile with your dirty right hand. You're gonna show the bottom card. You're gonna turn this over. You're gonna use your dirty left thumb to slide the top card, and guess what? You're gonna do the same action as before. The spectators think somehow that this card over here is this card over here, but it's not. When done casually and at speed, see, it just looks like you're just showing the 4 cards as the jokers. Now, of course, there's about 1,000 different variations on this. You have the Orion count, that's Reed McClintock's Orion count. You have what I believe is John Pierre Vallerino's Roomba count, right? That's a little bit of a hot one, right? You could show all the cards that way. There's the Kiss count, the Boris Wilde, I believe, Kiss count over here. See, look at that. Look at the technica on these moves. There's a bunch of them, but the simplest is Brother John Hammond's Flustration Count. Look at that. Super simple, super easy to do. But again, you notice that this is with 4 cards. This is with 4 cards, right? I want to do this with 5 cards because I want to show all 4 aces. So the way this works is that you're going to grab this little bit of a joker, you're going to place it on the face, and then you're going to turn the whole pile over, and then this goes, I don't know, somewhere. This goes as on top of the deck. You could talk about your little collection of jokers. You could talk about how your hobby, apart from doing magic tricks and getting absolutely nowhere in relationships, is collecting jokers because your life has gotten down that low. You could do whatever you want. This is a free trick, all right? This isn't a trick that's been segregated by years of racial oppression. This is a trick you could use at the schoolyard, and they're not gonna make you drink from the water fountain that's turned off and warm, all right? This is a equal opportunity trick. So for this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these 4 cards out, you're gonna spread the first one, you're gonna spread the next one, and then you're gonna spread the third one here. You're not gonna spread these because then they're gonna notice that you have 5 cards. You only want them to see 4 cards. So you're gonna do this little bit of a swivel display where you put 1 card here, another card, and another card. You're gonna use your thumb to press on the back of this card, and you're just gonna swivel both cards like this. See, that gives the illusion that there aren't any more cards because there's a little bit of a swivel action. You don't wanna overdo it. I've seen a lot of magicians that they overdo it and they have these sort of displays that really enhances your virginity. You just wanna do a little bit of a subtle action here. Now, when you score it up, you're gonna put your little pinky right there underneath the second card from the top of the deck. You're gonna get a pinky break here. I believe this was invented by Jesus of Nazareth. I think he gets the crediting for discovering the pinky break back in the year 1, I guess. The year 1. So the reason you're gonna do this is because you're gonna do a little bit of a modified flustration count. You're gonna transfer this pinky break to a thumb break. So you notice that the action of me lifting this packet up with my thumb, I create a little bit of a break there, a little bit of a separation.
The same separation that I have with my father.
But it's kind of metaphorically displayed here by this separation between these 2 top cards and the rest, the 3 cards in the bottom. And you're gonna do the flustration count. So you're gonna show the bottom card. Now, the only difference here is that instead of taking the top card, you're actually gonna take both cards. You see that? You're gonna take both cards. Now, the hint and the tip that I could give you on this is that you wanna put your thumb on as much surface area of that card as possible. So if you just take this top card by putting your thumb in the middle, guess what? You're gonna take 1 card and they're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna laugh at you. So you wanna put your thumb on as much surface area as possible on this card, which is actually gonna cause those 2 cards to slide over. Now, remember to hold these 2 cards as one. You don't wanna spread them and have the spectator realize your little method here. You're gonna turn this card over and continue the flustration count. And you notice what's happening here. At the end, you're not left with a double. You're left with 1 single card. You're left with just 1 single card that you're gonna turn face up on top of the pile. If you wanna do this little bit of a fancy little move to make the spectators really know that you've never actually seen a vagina, and that if you were to pick up on a lineup of things that may resemble vaginas, you won't pick the one that is actually a vagina. You could just use your middle finger here to turn this card over. You're clipping it. You see that? I'm clipping it between the forefinger and the middle finger, and I'm just allowing that to turn over on top of the deck. But if you do it, it looks like a nice little bit of a display here, right? A little bit of a hot bonus for you cardisters that really seriously need some help. in the sexual department. So what you're gonna do here next is a variation of Paul Harris's instant replay move. This is a move that I've covered as a color change before. However, here you're gonna use it as a color change for the entire packet, and it's very discrepant. You're gonna see how in a bit. We're gonna pick up the cards this way. You notice that I'm picking up with my thumb on the leftmost edge. I had a little bit of a lisp there, I apologize.
A little bit of a James Charles lisp, if you get my drift, right?
Your middle finger is on the rightmost edge and your forefinger is here in the front. The reason for this is because what's gonna happen is you're just gonna release pressure. So you're gonna put a little bit of pressure with your forefinger and you're gonna release that pressure with your thumb, which is gonna cause that pile to turn over in the left hand, in the awaiting left hand. Now here's where the practice is gonna have to come, because you're gonna have to practice it so that you make sure that the packet is square. The first person that I've seen do this with an entire deck of cards to facilitate a switch is Jay Sankey. Jay Sankey of Mr. Clean fame. He has a YouTube channel and he's the first person that I've seen do this little bit of a turnover to do a switch or a color change. He does it with a rubber band on a deck sometimes that he throws down. He does it with a lot of stuff. He has about 8,000 tricks to his credit, and this is the first time I saw somebody do it as a switch. So proper crediting there. So now guess what? Now that you've done this little bit of a flip action, you could spread these cards and show that those jokers are no longer jokers. They're now the aces, of course, making sure to hide this situation here. But you could just show these cards and say, look, now they're the aces, which is what most people would want to collect instead of jokers, right? Look at that. Oh boy, I'm Mr. Magic Man. Now, if you want at this point, you could do an optional move by Arturo de Ascanio called the Ascanio spread. By putting these two on the bottom, you could turn the whole pile over and you could do the Ascanio spread, which is something that I've talked about on the channel and I teach on the academy. I teach on the academy how to do the Ascanio spread. It just gives more of the illusion that the cards are as they seem. No guile here, no sneakiness, just 4 aces and nothing else, sir. Nothing for you to worry about. But that is something you're gonna have to look up on your own, because I think I've taught it like 12 times, bitch. Listen, that's the trick. You notice that it's a little bit discrepant because technically speaking, if you convert this card, which is a single joker that's on top, there should be no cards underneath, but they're not gonna know that. They're not Rain Man. They might be. Be careful the crowd you perform for. They might say, hey, sir, you did something there. Now, of course, if you wanna end clean, all you have to do is take your deck of cards. You see this, your deck of cards, the ones that are the balance of the deck. And because this card's face down, you just drop them on top of the deck. You just drop them as you talk about whatever card trick you're gonna do next. Oh, look, we're gonna take these aces and do something with it. Guess what? I've ditched my joker. I'm cleaner than a fucking whistle. I don't know who invented that, some white person. I'm cleaner than Jean-Claude Van Damme in the set of Street Fighter, the 1993 adaptation of the popular video game, then converted into a video game on itself called Street Fighter, the movie, the game, which was released to critical disdain. But that's a trick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have stuck past me saying, and that's the trick, because then you're gonna be able to listen to this little bit of life advice. Stick to your guns, all right? Stick to your guns, because sometimes people break into your house and you're gonna need to use them to blast them off. A little bit of an update, by the way. You see that? There's no boot. There's no boot. Those of you guys that are following my channel know that I got hit by a vehicle and broke my ankle in February, but instead, I've gone through extensive meditative surgery. That's not true. I've just literally gotten a cast and a boot, and it's on the way. My ankle's on the way. I could walk like a retard, but I could walk. So those of you guys that care about that, that's it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, make sure to use your toaster oven to facilitate ending your life if need be.